Good morning, guys. Happy Thursday morning. Okay, actually, about 6:30 in the morning. Pardon me if I sound a little nasally here. I'm catching a cold, I think, or something of the sort. So, hence, I tried to get a bunch of sleep last night and recording this morning. And no, I can taste and smell, so don't worry about that, guys. Okay, so I want to talk about something. This kind of ties into that video I did the other day with the igloo or whatever you want to call it. But a lot of people have been talking about emailing me questions about moving. And so I've done some perusing around the internet, and then Mrs. P and I took a drive yesterday just to go see what was actually out there in regards to land. Uh, So we took a drive all the way from here, not that these areas are going to mean anything to you, but all the way north through Tazewell, New Tazewell, Harrogate, over to Sneedville, everything like that. So, I mean, we covered, probably 30, 40 miles north to 30, 40 miles east. All right. And just wanted to see what some of these properties look like that are up for sale. It was funny because as Mrs. P was going through, and I mean, we checked out, Land and Farm and Lands of America and Realtor and Zillow and everything, to see what was on the market. And the prices were kind of shocking how they've gone up. And one of the things that was kind of interesting was Realtor.com said Tazewell, Tennessee was a hot market. Now I'm like, all right, that was a little telling in itself because, I mean, mind you guys, this is a town that's got two grocery stores and a Walmart. Okay, and I take it back to Walmart's in New Tazewell, so and so is one of the grocery stores. So we're not talking big cities here. I mean, not a single car dealership other than not a Ford dealership or Chevy dealership or something. You've got the used car dealers. So, small town, but it's a hot real estate market. So we started looking and looked at anything that was, say, 1 to 10 acres. And I was dumbfounded by what these properties, what they were asking for and what you were getting. Okay. On average now, I'd say you're probably looking up in the high teens per acre, which, like I told you guys a year ago, I bought the acre next door for $9,000. So, yeah. And then I'm looking at these properties, and there's completely wooded, or not that that's bad. Okay, don't get me wrong, but I'm just saying if you want to build anything there, be anything, you're going to have to get in there and start getting rid of trees. Okay, it costs money. Or they're just in bad areas and stuff like that. So it was not. I'm not talking about criminality or anything like that, but when you're looking bad areas, meaning you're right on the highway or something like that. Where I wouldn't want to be. I wouldn't want to have kids or dogs or something like that when they get cars zipping by at 55 miles an hour, or you're right next to a. There was one we saw that was right next to a wood mill. That's what I want to hear all day is saws going. So, not that I don't hear it with construction around here sometimes, but you get my point. So it becomes very interesting as to what people are going to do who are still trying to move. And like I said, I know some of you guys are. A few of you guys have emailed me looking at this area or wondering something around. But I mean, so I decided to take a look in areas that I have a little familiarity with just to see what's out there. So, this is my thought. And it kind of goes to what Prepper Now was looking at, because, I mean, if you follow him at all, he sold his house in the spring and they were waiting for a real estate crash. And, he eventually bought a little small acre homestead or whatever somewhere on the Maryland, West Virginia border. I have a feeling that there is going to be a real estate, I don't want to say collapse, but downturn. And not soon, but soon being the next couple of months, but you could see it next year. All right. And so it's and I'm going to tie all this together so you guys get a little bit of understanding on why. There's a lot of talk right now about money leaving the stock market and moving to, I don't want to say hard assets, but moving to precious metals and moving to Bitcoin. You know my thoughts on Bitcoin. So that's why I can't say it's hard assets. But as I've said before, investors have a tendency to follow the trends. Okay. Ooh, this is hot, so let's go chase this. Ooh, this is hot, so let's go chase this. Well, if people start dumping out of the stock market, they're going to have to go somewhere. Maybe they go to land. That drives price up. Okay. But what I'm saying is the price of real estate could come down is if the stock market tanks, chances are the real estate market goes with it, because a lot of real estate is purchased with stock market money. If you guys saw the stories on Zillow, for example, Zillow, as you know, we'll buy your house, we'll buy your house. And they've been doing this for the last 5 years or something like that. They lost their ass in this house flipping deal. I think, was it the Phoenix market, something like that? They have like 85% of the houses they are trying to sell right now for less than they paid for them. Okay, obviously that wasn't their intent. They didn't have this great big heart of gold saying, oh, we'll give people money and then let somebody else move in cheap. No, they were trying to make money and it backfired on them. My guess is you end up seeing the same thing. As inflation keeps coming and biting people in the butt, okay, things get more expensive and more expensive and more expensive. These people that own land are going to finally go, I got to get out of this. I need the cash to buy groceries, to buy gasoline, to pay my insurance. Because, y'all are telling me that somebody emailed me yesterday, their house insurance went up 25%. And they called the insurance company and said, why? And the insurance company said, well, because of the cost of building materials, we have to raise everybody's premiums just in case we have to rebuild a house. I'm like, well, you're about a year late on that because building materials are coming back down, but yeah, nice excuse. But this is what's going on. All our bills are going to go up, which means those people that own those vacant lots and whatever, their land is, their bills are going up. And eventually you're going to have a lot of people that need to raise cash. This is where I kind of went into before about having cash put back. Of course, once your bills are paid, you guys know that story. Because if we wait, if we're patient, there may be opportunities to buy something on the cheap. I wouldn't jump at property right now. It's still too expensive. All right. People are still riding this wave of, oh my God, people are trying to move out of the cities. They want to move to the country. Let's see if we can milk them. I mean, we looked at a couple of properties yesterday. I saw one that was 10 acres. They wanted $220,000 for it. And I looked at this property. I'm like, there's no benefit to it. It's completely wooded, so it's going to cost you 30, 40 grand just to clear a space to put a house in. You'd still have to put a well in. There's no view, if you will, whatsoever. There's nowhere to farm, no nothing. And you're in a valley. Like, great. If it rains, you flood. Like, who the hell's going to spend that kind of money for it? So it was just something I noticed, guys, but just an idea. If you're looking at buying land, be very, very careful that you're not overpaying for it at this point right now. The housing market may be cooling off, but the land market, at least around me, still seems to be super hot. And I don't think any of us want to be buying at the top. So just a thought. Have a good Thursday. Pinball out.